If your dream is to become a profitable digital marketing freelancer, then you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm gonna lay out the step-by-step process that you need to take in order to fulfill that dream. Now, if this is the first time that you've seen one of my videos, my name is Aaron Young and I'm from Define Digital Academy. And what I'm about to share with you in this video are lessons that I learned from being a six-figure Google Ads freelancer for over a decade. And the very first step is that you need to get some experience in digital marketing. Now, for me, the way that I got my first experience was that in 2010, I was starting my first business, and through a series of events, we weren't able to get any marketing agencies to really provide any conversions at all. So because it was all of our money invested and it was our own business, I took on the role of digital marketing. And once again, because this was our own business and our money, I spent every waking moment working on my business and especially doing extra hours to really understand how I could use Google Ads to grow my business. And for me, that's how I got the experience and learned how to master a platform like Google Ads and other digital marketing platforms. Now, I do know that that is something that a lot of people don't like to hear, but trust me, if you want to see longevity in this industry, you will need to have some experience, and I mean practical experience in actually running digital marketing campaigns. Now, I do know that there is a trend of people bringing in experts in different areas, so Google Ads and meta advertising, SEO, website, all of those things. And I do definitely understand that. And throughout my freelancing career, I did bring in some extra people so that I could increase my capacity. But before you do that, you do need to have above a base level understanding of how the industry works. And the reason for that is so that you can successfully build long-term client relationships, and you're not just on a continuous sales windmill where you're trying to sign 10 new clients because you just lost 12 clients last month. Having a successful freelancing career means that you are maintaining far more clients than you are losing. As I said in my example, I was working and building and launching my own business for 3 years before I even started to reach out to other clients. So I had 3 years experience. If you were to work in a digital agency, you could actually fast track that and you could have that necessary experience after about 18 months to 2 years, especially if you're in an agency where you're getting a high volume of clients from different industries. You get to pick up and learn your skill set relatively quickly. Now, if you are just starting out, or even if you need some extra assistance with really getting on top of how Google Ads works, what I want to do before we run into the next points, I want to give you a free tool to help your learning, and this is my Google Ads optimization checklists. And this not only takes you through all of the different optimization actions that you need to complete in order to optimize a Google Ads campaign, but also lets you know what actions you need to complete weekly versus what other actions you need to complete monthly or even only 3 or 4 times a year. And I've got these checklists for both service-based businesses and also e-commerce brands. And if you're going to have access to those checklists, all you need to do is to follow that link in the description below. All right, so once you've built out some experience in the digital marketing industry, you then need to come to the second step. And this is before you go out and reach clients. You need to actually work out who your ideal client is. And this is a step that a lot of people miss. They just go from getting some experience to try and signing as many clients as possible. But before you go out and start trying to find new clients, you firstly want to really pinpoint what type of clients you're trying to target. Many people will just phrase this as trying to find the most profitable niche. But what I'm talking here goes beyond that, because what you're firstly wanting to really look at is what is your current experience, what are your biggest wins, and what specific strategies have you worked out that would work for other businesses? Now, for me, the first clients that I got that were outside of my own business were 4 boutique hotels and resorts. And then I also signed up 2 new starting e-commerce brands. Now, the reason for why I got those clients in those areas, because they were the clients that I was specifically targeting, because they matched the strengths and the experience that I had in my previous 3 years of running those Google Ads campaigns for my own business. When I looked at my current experience, it was very clear that I had run Google Ads and a digital marketing campaign for a boutique hotel, which was my own boutique resort. And this gave me 2 core strengths. Firstly, that I was able to run and launch successful digital marketing and Google Ads campaigns on a very small budget. And with that small budget, we were able to compete against much larger brands who are operating in the same space as ours. So when I then looked at the biggest wins that I had and the strategies that I'd figured out how you can actually not only compete, but succeed against bigger budgets when you've got a smaller budget and a smaller brand. And then specifically to one of those niches, I was also able to go into different meetings and try and sign clients, letting people know that for my own hotel, we had a 50% direct booking rate when the industry average was only 15%. Writing down and really planning out those different strengths that I had gained from those first 3 years of experience, it really allowed me to really pinpoint the type of businesses that I could target as my own freelance clients. So rather than just taking a scattergun approach, what I was doing is I was really trying to generate some unique selling points of why that business should sign me as their freelance Google Ads manager, as opposed to a full digital agency or the thousands of other freelancers. And that's why this step is so important, because if you don't have a clear, unique selling point on why someone should choose you as a freelancer versus large and small digital agencies or other freelancers who may have more experience with you, you'll find it very, very hard to sign new clients. So that's why it's so important that you take the time to really work out what your strengths are and what your greatest achievements are in digital marketing up to this point in your career, because that then helps you to get the messaging right when we go to the all-important step number 3. And step number 3 is when you actually reach out and try to sign some new clients. But remember, because you've already defined the exact type of clients that you're looking for and what your strengths are, you can get really targeted and specific. Now, for me, I signed up new clients in 3 main areas. Firstly, I did cold outreach, but it wasn't completely cold outreach. As I mentioned before, at that time, I was living and working in Bali, and we had some success in the boutique hotel space. So what I did is we put together a list of all the boutique and independently owned hotels in different areas of the island, and we did cold outreach. By that, I mean that I actually went into the reception, asked to speak to the manager or the sales manager, and rather than just saying, hey, look, why don't I try Google Ads, we were going in with specific data. And the data that I was giving them was that I knew that in Bali at that time, the industry average for direct bookings, so bookings that weren't coming through online agencies like Booking.com and Expedia, was 15%. And I had data that we had a new hotel that had been running for 2 years that was getting direct bookings of above 50%. So yes, it was cold outreach, but it was cold outreach with a specific message of we can help your marketing be more profitable. And that's how we signed on those initial hotels and brands. And then from there, we also signed up some initial e-commerce brands, and the way that we got them is we really pulled out that messaging of I understand what it's like to be a new business where your marketing budget is so important to you, and that's how we were able to sign those clients. Even though we didn't have experience in e-commerce at that time, I was able to get those clients on the strength of my messaging, letting people know that I successfully launched my own business, and so I really understood the importance of how a startup operates and how to maximize every single cent of your marketing budget. So the important point I want to make there, it's not only through cold outreach, it's also cold outreach specifically targeting businesses or types of businesses that match your core skill sets and achievements. Now, another way that I got clients was using a site like Upwork. But once again, with Upwork, I wasn't just going out and applying for any proposal. I was looking at specific areas. So for me, I started in those areas of focusing in on Google Ads, focusing in on the tourism industry, focusing in on e-commerce. And I was really making sure that my messaging was really tight, letting them know that this is the experience I have. And rather than just saying I was the best freelancer or I've got 3 years experience, really putting in practical examples of when I started with company named X, and I don't mean the new social profile that used to be Twitter, their acquisition cost for new leads was at $30, but after 3 months or after 4 months, the acquisition costs are now below $20. So make sure that in your proposals and make sure that on your profile, you're not just saying you're really good at this and you've got 3 years of experience or 5 years experience. You're actually giving specific examples of this is the percentage that I improved acquisition costs, or this is how much I increased revenue for these businesses. What I would also say with Upwork and with cold calling, it is definitely a numbers game. So for me, when I was doing the cold calling of, going around in person to different businesses, I allocated 1 day a week. And the only thing I did all day was go in and try and make new appointments to sign new clients. And then when I switched over to Upwork, what I was doing is that every single morning, Monday to Friday, before I even opened up my computer email, I was going straight to Upwork and sending out 5 proposals a day. That meant that every week I was sending out 25 proposals, and every month I was sending out over 100 proposals. And that was allowing me to sign anywhere between 1 to 3 new clients a month. So don't forget that even if you've got that very clear messaging on what you can do for a business, it does take time and numbers in order to get those new sales. And then the third area where I've got new clients, and this is going to be the easiest area, was direct referrals and testimonials. Now, this does take a little bit of extra time to build up. So once I started freelancing, it took me about 18 months before I started to get testimonials and referrals through, meaning I'd been involved in the industry for, coming on 4.5, 5 years. But they were the easiest clients to sign because they'd come from a direct referral or a testimonial. And that's what I really also just want to encourage you with. It is very hard and time consuming at the start to pick up new clients, but the longer that you stay in the industry, the easier and easier it is to sign clients. And it's got so much to where I am at the moment, where I actually run an application process. So we actually have clients who apply to us in order for us to take on their management, and we probably only take on a smaller percentage of all of the applications that we get. Once again, that didn't happen overnight. That has happened through me being in the industry now for close on 15 years. All right, so firstly, you need to get some experience. And then secondly, you really need to focus on what are your achievements and what are the best type of clients and businesses that you want to target. Then you go through and start targeting new clients. And now step 4 is where you really look to increase your conversion rates so that you're getting more clients from less outreach. And the way that you do this is refine your messaging. And this is what I was talking about before. Rather than just saying, we're the best digital agency or I'm the best freelancer, really get out there and be really, really specific of how you help businesses. So don't get caught up in, we'll optimize your account and we'll focus on all of these things, because business owners, that's not really what they're concerned about. What they're concerned about is that at the moment we are spending $5,000 a month on digital marketing and we're only getting 100 leads, whereas we need to be getting at least 200 leads. What you need to be doing is you need to be able to giving them real life examples of what you've done previously that is going to give the business the confidence to sign you as their digital marketing expert. Now, the way that I would do this is that I would test this like I was testing ad copy in Google Ads. So what we would do is, as I said, we're sending out those different proposals, and I was sending out 100 different proposals a month. I would actually always be going in every couple of weeks. After about every 50 proposals, I would go through and update not only my Upwork profile, but also update the messaging that I was sending through in my proposals. And this took a process of about 4, 5, 6 months. And then we started to get more inquiries and also started to get more new clients. And what it came down to is, as I said, we really honed down on being more specific and giving real life examples, where possible, giving percentage increases or dollar value increases from your strategies. And then the last step in how to become a profitable freelancer is to get your pricing right. The biggest recommendation I can give you here is that whenever you sign on a new client, build into that contract a 90-day review. And this is a rolling review. So every single year that you have that client, you'll do a review 4 times a year. Because what you're doing in that review is you're making a specific time for the client and getting them to plan ahead. So at this time, you're finding out any new products or services that they've got coming on board, any challenges that they're facing in their business. And what that then allows you to do is that then allows you to create some extra strategies that you can do for your clients. So what it can actually do, and I did this time and time again, where I started just looking after their Google ads, and then we found out that they were having issues with conversion rate on their website. We were able to pick up that extra part of the business, or we're also able to pick up Facebook marketing in different areas, all because I had a structured 90-day meeting with my client where I was able to continually build relationship with the client, find out what their needs are. And sometimes at a meeting I would have in June, I would remember a pain point that the client would say. And then when it came to September, our next quarterly meeting, I would then have a presentation ready to go with some strategies that really answered that need that the client had. And in some cases, what we're able to do over a period of 3 or 4 years, we were able to grow a management fee from quite a small management fee of $500 up to be above $5,000 on the same client. And the reason for why we're able to do that is because we built in that 90-day strategy review meetings. The other thing that I would say in there as well is a lot of people ask, what percentage model should you use? Now, for me, what I always looked at is I always looked at starting at a base level. So that could be somewhere between $500 to $750, but I'd also build in a percentage of spend or a results-based multiplier. And the reason for why I did that is it just stopped me getting into the scenario where we would have a client where we would get excellent results where they went from an account that was spending, $2,000 or $3,000 a month to an account that was spending $20,000 a month. We had already built in there that this was the management fee, but if a spend got to this level, we'd then switch over to a percentage model. And then coupling that with a 90-day review, it made it safe for the business owner that they knew that every 90 days that we'd be having an open discussion about where the management fee should be for our work and the results that we're giving the business. Thank you for joining me. My name is Aaron Young from Define Digital Academy. Now, I will also be releasing some further videos on this topic and really going into how you can move from a 6-figure to a 7-figure freelancer. And if you want to make sure that you never miss any of those videos, make sure that you don't only subscribe, but you also turn on that notification bell. And if you are just starting out your journey and you're wanting to learn how to effectively build Google Ads campaigns, I want you to go through and watch my Get Google Ready playlist, which takes you through everything you need to know about all the different types of Google Ads campaigns in 2024. And I look forward to seeing you in that video real soon. See you next time.